I'm a robin in the spring. It's nesting time. So this is not going to be your typical nesting video because the way that I nest, I focus a lot on how I'm going to feel postpartum. And so though I do have laundry going, baby clothes and baby blankets, a lot of what I'm doing and I'm prepping has to do with making sure I have what I need to feel good, to feel nourished, and to set myself up to be able to feel vital and feel my best and enjoy the postpartum period. And so if that idea is like totally new to you, you're like, what? What does that even look like? Nest with me. I'm going to be sharing the recipes I'm going to be making for freezer meals, some of the supplements I have on hand, the herbal things that I have specifically for postpartum. I'm going to show you what's in my postpartum caddy, all my favorite non-toxic postpartum essentials, my thoughts around birth, how I'm approaching it. It's a little unconventional, and yeah, spend the day with me. We're going to cook. So I have a list of things. Most of my list for this video of nesting is just food stuff. We're gonna make a batch of my chicken noodle soup. I cook it with the whole chicken in. Cook it with the whole chicken in so it gets really like gelatinous and yummy. We're gonna make oxtail stew. I'm gonna make lactation cookies and a breakfast oatmeal bake. Put some black beans to soak. Can you actually peel these carrots for me? I'm so good at peeling. Put on some black beans to soak. I love sprouted legumes when it comes to supporting hormone balance, which is essentially like a lot of what you're doing postpartum. You're supporting your body with nutrients and you're supporting your body to take all the hormones that are going everywhere, to package them up and to get out of your system so that you feel good. Because a lot of times, like if our liver is burdened, our gallbladder's struggling, our digestion's struggling, you're gonna feel that. I have found personally, as someone that struggled with like IBS growing up, couldn't eat beans, couldn't eat dairy, all this stuff, the quality of the food and the way I prepare it really matters. So I soak my beans and my grains with some apple cider vinegar at least 24 hours, and then I'll cook them in the pressure cooker. Mixer is running. We've got the oatmeal bake in the oven. Chicken soup is still cooking in the Instant Pot. We're gonna have some for lunch and then we'll freeze the rest. I just milled some grain for flour for the cookies, the lactation cookies, and to have some on hand for my sourdough starter, because I think I'm gonna make a batch of sourdough pancakes tomorrow. Keep in the freezer for this little gal. I'm gonna link all the recipes that I'm using below. I will, just a heads up, I modify literally everything I ever make. So I'll put notes on what I modified if I can remember everything. And then when the chicken noodle soup is done, I'm gonna section it out into jars, do the whole thing, and then I'll probably just go right on to making the oxtail stew in the Instant Pot because it's already dirty. And I've already got all the stuff out and we're kind of on a roll, huh babe? Just taste testing the cookie dough. Okay, we've got postpartum essentials here. We've got baby clothes that just came out of the dryer in the back. But first, I just want to chat about like my highest priority and how I approach postpartum, because the most important thing for me, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I've essentially had to become my own advocate for health. I have an entire video detailing how I naturally healed from things that I was told when I was young that I'd have forever. And part of that process of kind of taking your health in your own hands is needing to know what's going on in your body so that you know how to support yourself. And something I haven't shared is that my husband actually has a very long chronic health history. It's actually what was one of the reasons, not just myself, that I got really into holistic health in the first place. And he's stoked because we partnered with Function Health. You've probably heard of them. They're the sponsor of today's video, which is very fitting. They are the only platform that gives you access to data that most people, they never see, they never get given. With Function, you can test over 100 biomarkers, everything from heart health to hormones to toxins, inflammation, stress. My favorite part about Function Health is the accessibility. As someone that has been basically my own health advocate for years, I have had to go through the process of ordering my own lab work, and it's very expensive. Literally, for the price of a Function Health membership for the year, I have paid that just to get 2 or 3 lab tests done for myself for my thyroid. And thyroid markers are literally included in your membership, which is really cool. My husband just got started on his. He literally just went to the lab, actually, and we're already seeing results come through, which is really cool. Very convenient, very simple, very straightforward. And then we'll be able to test again to see, okay, how are we doing? Are the changes we're making effective? And there's no alternative incentives. Like, they're not pushing certain supplements. They're not pushing things at you. It's literally simply for you to take your health into your own hands and to feel empowered to know what's going on in your body. Function Health is offering the first 1,000 people to go to my link $100 credit towards their first time membership. Visit functionhealth.com/Jessica Rothley or use code JRothley100, all caps, at checkout to redeem your credit. Speaking of taking health into your own hands, welcome to my postpartum caddy. So I mentioned before that this caddy is like my life postpartum. So it's our changing caddy. It's got our little red light, night light. Hello. And it's got things that I need for postpartum. But I'm going to share with you the things that I have on hand to take care of myself and my favorites. Because I already talked about things I got for the baby, diapers, all that stuff in my minimalist registry video. But these are some things I have postpartum. First things first, obviously, is my diapers. These are the Rail Organic cotton covered period underwear, and that's what I use postpartum. They are organic cotton. They're great. I used them last time for the hoo-ha, taking care of all the lady bits. I actually found this at our local co-op. It's the Wish Garden Afterbirth. It's for sitz bath, but I don't actually have a sitz bath, so I could do in the bathtub, or what I'm probably gonna do is make this postpartum herbal soak for my perineal bottle and keep it in the fridge and just ask Max to refill it when I need. Anytime I need to go to the bathroom, anytime I'm feeling sore, or if I really want to, I could take like a shallow bath with it. If you've never heard of the company Milk Moon, allow me to introduce you to them. I discovered them in my first pregnancy. Loved them. They were local to me actually in Northern California at the time. They're this beautiful company. They make herbals. Specifically, they started with postpartum, but now they make hormone stuff. And it's all nervous system based. This was a gift from my mom. She got me, this is a postpartum tonic. It's like a mix of all these herbs in this beautiful syrup, and you take like a couple tablespoons a day, and it just supports healing. And then they have specific tinctures, like herbal tinctures for different things. And what anxiety, sadness, milk flow, sleep, so much stuff. So my 2 favorites that I used last time that I wanted was the No Worries, and it's a postpartum nervous system support for feelings of like being hyped or kind of being like activated a little bit too much. And then their postpartum sleep support, it's called Bring Me a Dream. And the anxiety one is called No Worries. They're amazing. I use the postpartum tonic. This is not sponsored. My mom, I paid for them with my own money, and then my mom paid with their own money. We just love the company. And if you haven't heard of them, it's such a beautiful gift to give someone else or yourself, which is what I asked for. My mom asked me, what do you need? And I said, well, we kind of need more diapers, but I would love this. And she was like, absolutely. So it was very sweet of her to get this for me. I love herbs postpartum. So that is a huge thing for me. Herbals postpartum. And speaking of, another tincture, you'll see I have all these tinctures next to me because I'm going to keep it by my bed. And that way they're in easy access. The other one that I have is from Rothley, which is another brand that I love. You've probably heard of Rothley. I feel like all like natural-minded moms know about Rothley. But this is their Ease the Ache. It's very similar to the Wish Garden After Ease formula. Very similar idea, just to help support your body with those afterbirth pains as your uterus is contracting and shrinking back. Another thing I do for that, I can't remember if I mentioned this, but I only eat warm or room temperature foods and liquids for the first 2 weeks postpartum, maybe more, but definitely for the first 2 weeks. That is so helpful when it comes to afterbirth pains. It's also very helpful for blood flow. It's something I learned about in the book, the first 40 days. I mentioned that in my minimalist registry. I'll link all the stuff I'm mentioning below, by the way, if you're just like interested to know. But they talk about how traditionally in a lot of cultures, not just Chinese medicine, but a lot of cultures, postpartum is the time for warm foods, and it's thought to restore health and strength to mom. And it's really intuitive if you think about it, because you're healing, like you're literally healing from a wound inside of your uterus. You're bringing strength. You're losing a lot of blood. And so warming foods bring that strength, that nourishment. They're easier to digest when you think about like soups and stews. And the bonus is that it's really helpful for afterbirth pains. It reduces it. Cold foods will usually make them worse. This is another thing I have. It's not for postpartum. We just keep this on hand, but I love this product. Also from Rothley. It's their Good Night Lotion, and it's just their magnesium balm. We have the sensitive, which doesn't have any essential oils in it. I massage my daughter with this most nights to give like her magnesium massage. Max has been lately doing this for me on my lower back on days when I just feel sore at the end of the day. It's so nice to have on your nightstand because you can rub it. You get, the soreness of postpartum. Magnesium baths. You could do magnesium bath mixed with like a Sitz herbal blend. So lovely. So lovely. I'm already thinking about it. And then the last thing I will have in here, which I don't currently, are snacks. So we got stuff for baby. We got diaper stuff here. And then this is like my little compartment with my herbals and with my snacks and with some magnesium balm. Sometimes you get hungry nursing, especially when your milk comes in. And it's nice to not have to get up to go get anything from the fridge or to wake anybody up. And so I always have some sort of food, some sort of like meat stick, protein bar. I have prepped those lactation cookies. I'm also going to prep some protein muffins. When it comes to supplements I really focus on, it's actually very similar to what I took in my pregnancy. I continue with my Rosita cod liver oil, my perfect supplements, desiccated organs. Those are crucial. I take them on my pregnancy, and I've actually mentioned those before. I can link them below as well. And then I just add in some specific herbal supports for postpartum because it just makes me feel so supported. And I really notice a difference actually when I use herbals. Next on our list for nesting, I've got baby clothes and baby blankets in the dryer that I washed. I'm gonna fold and put them away because I've mentioned before, you can see my dresser. This same thing that I did with my firstborn, everything's in this dresser. No one's having to get up, go into the closet to get clothes. It's all literally within arm's reach. And so I'm gonna organize that. Actually, that was something else I wanted to announce here, was that I have planned some content at a time that will come out through October, and then I'm taking all of November and all of December off, and which will end up being like a 3-month rest sabbatical for me as we go into winter and the holidays. And I'm really excited about it. I'll be back in the new year. That was very intentional for 2 reasons. One, obviously, to focus on family integration and rest postpartum, and to really just soak in the time that we have in that like 4th trimester period. The other was because I have been feeling an itch to shift my work. I love what I have been creating. I do not want to leave. I, however, feel the call to shift my work because I have changed in the 1.5 years that I've started this YouTube. And as you can see, if you've been following me, you've probably seen that some of my content has actually naturally just shifted because it's reflecting more of where I am in real time when it comes to starting with decluttering stuff, and then the deeper, good, juicy stuff of decluttering old narratives, lies, and things that are not serving you literally in your life. And so my motto is always make space. This idea of making space for what you want to see thrive in your life. And so I knew deep down, I need to create space so I have the quiet to see something else bloom and to really get clarity on like where I want to go. My goal is always to serve women in their efforts to make space for what truly matters. And that journey has continued to deepen more and more into what that means. And so I'm excited to see where this leads. So little. Can we just, while I fold, I actually thought I'd share a little bit about like birth, our birth plan. I haven't talked about that at all on the channel. And the truth is that since this is going to come out after I give birth anyway, I don't mind sharing. I'm super protective over my energy around birth, which is why I didn't share anything. We're having a home birth. Birth preparation this time has actually looked radically different. It feels so nonchalant. Like literally, like people are like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, we're gonna have a baby. Like we're gonna be going on with our life, and then one day we'll have a baby. I'm excited to meet baby. I also don't feel rushed. I don't feel like stressed at the end of this pregnancy. And I felt that a lot with my first. There was just so much drama around when is she going to get here? It was like 37 weeks came, you know, and I had like the bag packed for the birth center and I had everything done. And it was just, there was a lot of hype around it. It's so funny. With my first, I did all of the readings. I read Ina May's Guide to Natural Childbirth. I think that's what it's called. I did the courses, the natural childbirth courses. I was doing all the pelvic floor stretches, perineal stretches. I mean, I was like, I'm going to ace. I'm going to ace giving birth, you know what I mean? Which is very indicative of how I approached things at the time in my life. I've been like so not the same, but what I can tell you is where a lot of my energy's been is the deeper work of like reframing who I am as a woman and welcoming this transition to a different kind of mother that I'm going to become, and how I see the world and how I experience this pregnancy. It's all been a lot of like mindset, inner work, and just like how I'm experiencing my life, if that makes sense, which you've probably picked up on if you've been watching my videos for the last few months, because I've been talking more about it. And that to me is like, that's what I needed to do, actually. That's what I need to do. I don't need another birth course. Birth courses are great. If you feel supported by them, that's amazing. I'm just sharing that I didn't need that this time. That was actually not what I needed to do to prepare. I needed to shed some lies. I needed to reframe narratives. I needed to take away some old layers of who I was to make space, classic Jessica, make space for something new. And naturally, you're so different. You bring that into anything, and not just birth, motherhood, but like you as a woman, you bring that newness to whatever you endeavor, whether it's work, whether it's birth, whether it's motherhood. And so that's why I have this confidence of like, yeah, this will be a different experience because I'm so different and it can't help but be different. All right, everything's folded. I'm just gonna put it away. Thank you for hanging out and nesting with me. See you soon.